Anatomy doing the bell, doing okay, there it is. It's close.
Go ahead and call this council regular session to order. It is Wednesday, January 18th, the time is 7 p.m. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll go ahead and open it up for visitor comments. If you have a comment, please come up and state your name for the record and less. Hello.
Hi. Chris Murphy. Probably people don't come often to thank you for denying the request. We were here last week and you were looking into the hearing for our vacation request. We got in the car when we left and we looked at each other and we said, you had no choice but to deny that, given everything that came out in this meeting. So we just wanted you to know that we honored your decision and yeah, there was just no choice. We learned a lot about city government when we went through the 10-month process of all the paperwork and working with Jenny. And we're happy to be citizens of St. Helens and we're proud to be here and want to thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh.
And Ron just came along to sit here and look pretty. So there we are.
But that doesn't happen very often. So we thank you guys for.
Well, this is probably kind of a thankless job sometimes, what you're doing. I don't know, but we just wanted you all to know that we appreciate you. Thank
We
you.
appreciate that. And yeah, we're all about public safety too. So whatever needs to be done there, you know, just use it.
Yeah, and again, yeah.
Just remember her face when it's on the ballot for dog catcher.
Yeah, I appreciate, yeah, and your patience, now you going through that, I know the initial planning, a meeting that you had attended and things are going kind of south and all that, just appreciate that. Your ongoing, I know, frustration, but also your patience and maintaining just a great level of conversation and understanding, so really appreciate your.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eric Saul. I'm in St. Helens. And I was expecting my wife to be here with, she's got all the information, but I don't know where she is. She's missing in action. So she had actually talked, I don't know, about a video. I don't know if we can show that here. It's on YouTube.
He asked to have a video for his 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, listen to a video for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's expertly done by somebody that came up. This is about Liberty Hill and the mining permit there by Knife River. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Research shows nostalgia can help you relax. Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Need to tie the room together? Here's how to match the right rug to your space in 40 seconds. 3 things. Number 1.
Very regular search. The color was blue, it was like 5 clear one. So things this deception that on first sight I could have sworn it's water. Lewis had cast his eyes upon an innocent field of camas flowers. This is Liberty Hill Bluff, the last pristine camas field in Northwest Oregon. Sadly, the bluff in this shot is slated to be destroyed by North Dakota Gravel Mining Company. State agencies are requesting comments from those who have an opinion on this plan. Liberty Hill erupts with camas blossoms every spring. Such fields once covered the bluffs of St. Helens, along with significant portions of the Columbia River Basin and Willamette Valley. The Chinook Indians regarded camas as an essential food staple. Women tended the plants, harvesting the bulbs only when they had reached their peak size, then slow cooking them for maximal nutritional value. Camas bulbs look like onions, taste sweet, like pumpkin. Unfortunately, almost all of the native camas fields have been destroyed by development, agriculture, and mining. Less than 2% of the original coverage of native prairie remains in the Willamette Valley. And Liberty Hill is the most extensive and well-preserved remnant plot of campus meadow on the northern side. Of course, the meadow's resources go far beyond campus. Other times of year, you'll see that Liberty Hill has unparalleled diversity of native wildflowers and wetlands flora. Some of the rarest plants found here include meadow birdfoot trefoil, fringed loosestrife, and western lady's tresses. But the most impressive aspect of the meadow is the sheer number of uncommon species that aren't often found elsewhere. The meadow is also backed by over 100 acres of oak woodland, making it the largest and most natural meadow and oak complex in our region. The wetlands are equally impressive. Vernal pools support the Oregon fairy shrimp, a rare and vulnerable species known only from a few dozen locations. Streams support native mollusks. The runoff from these wetlands feeds into Dalton Lake, a mitigation wetland that Bonneville restored just this year to improve juvenile habitat for endangered salmon. 14 amphibian and reptile species live in the meadow or surrounding woodland, 5 of which breed in these vernal pools. Several snakes rarely seen in Northwest Oregon thrive here, such as the northern rubber boa that sniffs out small rodents underground, or the western yellow-bellied racer that visually tracks its prey above ground in the prairie grass. The western skinks found in this meadow are only known from one other location in the county, and likely will disappear from the region if this habitat isn't preserved. Close to 100 species of birds have been reported on Liberty Hill in just a few surveys, including 7 species listed by the state of Oregon as sensitive. Olive-sided flycatcher and willow flycatcher hunt the fields for insects in the spring, while white-breasted nuthatch and pileated woodpecker search for bugs in the surrounding trees. Sometimes the bluff is visited by mountain quail and peregrine falcon. You can spot grazing deer, elk, and brush rabbits both in the meadow and in the woods. Raccoons and bobcat hunt small animals along the edge, while skunks and weasels probe the undergrowth. If the full extent of the oak woodland was restored, it might support species otherwise nearly gone from the region, such as acorn woodpecker and western gray squirrel. The mining company claims it will mitigate the 10 acres of wetlands it is tearing up, but what good will that do for the 70 acres of meadow and oak woodland they remove? They have no plans to replace it at all, nor could they. They are destroying the most pristine half of the meadow, and the combination of vehicle traffic, disturbed hydrology, constant dust from a planned 50 years of mining operation, and poorly designed mitigation will degrade the meadow seriously. Liberty Hill will no longer be the most amazing camas meadow left in Northwest Oregon, but just another adulterated fragment of patches of camas here and there. It is the last of its kind, and if they rip it out, there will be no bringing it back. I want to share one story. In 1937, James Tanner was researching the last surviving population of ivory-billed woodpeckers. While he was there, the land was sold to the Chicago Mill and Lumber Company. Tanner told the company about the precious nature of these woods and outlined a plan to spare the unique woodpeckers. The Chicago executives ignored it. After the National Audubon Society and the Fish and Wildlife Service pleaded with the company to turn the remaining tract of forest into a reserve, Chicago Mill and Lumber CEO James Griswold famously responded, "We are just money grubbers. We are not concerned with ethical considerations." In 1944, as the logging was nearly complete, an Audubon Society staff member spotted the last ivory-billed woodpecker. Wildlife artist Don Eckelberry rushed to the site and spent 2 weeks sketching it, making the famous final drawings of the species. Then he watched as the lumber company cut down the remaining trees used by the magnificent bird. The ivory-billed woodpecker would never be seen again. To read this in 2022, think, how could we be so blind? How can we demolish an irreplaceable habitat? How can we not realize that we would never get back what was lost? And yet here we are, once again poised to destroy that which cannot be replaced. If we allow a mine to ruin this bluff, then by the next generation, certain native plant and wildlife species will never be found within 40 miles in any direction. Local children will hear about what happened, gaze up at the stripped hillside, and wonder how we could have been so short-sighted. There are other places to mine the salt nearby that won't disturb critical habitat, including directly north of the present quarry. The public comment period for opposing the mine ends soon, and many of us are writing to express our feelings for why it would be a travesty to let it go through. Once we thought the world was so big, we could take whatever we wanted from it without consequence. Now we see it disappearing around us. We may forgive previous generations for being naive, for not knowing everything we know. We don't have the same excuse.
Oh, I thought that said better. I mean, there's many issues
Organized as a snap. You have the right.
in opposition to that mining operation in that location. was, there was a working session at 2:00.
He was here.
Okay, so she probably, it wasn't the time, it was just 3 minutes, I believe, to talk, so she probably gave more details about that. There's people are now, residents of the area are writing to the Army Corps of Engineers and to Oregon DEQ that are involved in the approval or not of the current second application, because the first application was rejected on certain reasons. So that comment period is ending on January 30th. And basically, people that are concerned for the city, even though it's not, we realize it's on county land, although there is one area that's in the urban growth boundary of the mitigation, wetlands mitigation area. But you know, St. Helens is the seat of the Columbia County. This was like a mining permit that was approved in 1992. And you know, it's 30 years over 30 years ago. And I think a lot of people maybe didn't realize too, as far as what this video is focusing on, was the natural habitat. It's really unique area. Also, we're aware that the 500-page report that was prepared by Knife River for this, in many people's opinion, has factual errors in it. They're saying there are no vernal pools. And it's like, there are. I mean, I walked the property. I mean, I'm not an biology expert. From my understanding and talking to people, absolutely, those are vernal pools. Like he's talking about the fairy shrimp that live in these, they're extremely rare. So we're concerned this is kind of being rushed through, and maybe with the intent that, you know, nobody's going to oppose it or something like that. But B, there are also many concerns from homeowners as far as hydrology and possible water problems on Pittsburgh Road. People there have water problems now, some houses with mold problems and stuff. My wife has talked to many of those people. You know, there's concern that it's going to get worse as, you know, the hydrology changes on the hill. And of course it does. I immediately, my property immediately is adjacent to the border of the Weyerhaeuser land. And so, you know, I would personally be impacted as well. But I think a lot of the concern, and there's many people who would be personally impacted, like on Elk Ridge, that are within less than, I mean, there's the wetlands mitigation area is going to do blasting to get what they have to do for the mitigation, you know, in some very short distance from these homes in Elk Ridge and my home as well. Anyway, there's many reasons, but I just wanted to share with you this video that we became aware of by somebody that made it. I think it's kind of emotional, but in an emotional way, it shows like, it just seems like sticking with something that may have been not really all the way thought out in 1992 is worth revisiting as far as the impact of the city. You know, it's bordered by the city on 3 sides. Parts of the mitigation area are within the urban growth boundary. So this is a part of St. Helens. It's affecting St. Helens. It's right on our doorstep as far as the city limits. And just having a mining operation there just seems absurd to me. And especially when they can go north by this, Weyerhaeuser owns all that land. They own the land to the north too, and Knife River is leasing it for mining. And to the north has also high quality basalt. For some reason, others, it must be easier or cheaper for them to go this direction. So obviously that's what they want, you know, there's some reason they want to do it. But there are other options, and there's a lot of cost to many people and to the habitat and everything. And we just want to impress upon, I don't know what the city council can do, but it's many people opposed and there's a growing opposition.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The video is done by Jonathan Hakeem, formerly Danke, who's a St. Helens High School graduate.
Any other visitor comments?
Pretty well, I wanted to also emphasize that Liberty Hills we're saving. I don't know what the city can do. I don't know if you can annex it without their permission. It's my understanding that the property owner has to ask for an annexation. But I don't know, maybe there's a way for you to do that. I don't know, but it does seem like this is a very unique piece of property. And that it does need to be saved and you have already passed ordinances to protect citizens from mining or city limits. And it seems that something needs to be done, to protect this piece of property. And again, I know it's outside the city limits, but it's also like sort of curiously outside the city limits, because there are parts that are within city limits that are both next to and farther beyond the city and center of town that are within the city limits. So this was obviously deliberately carved out for the purpose to mine it so that it doesn't fall within the jurisdiction of the city. And to me, that's a mistake, and there should be a way to correct that and a way to prevent this from happening. Thanks.
Go ahead.
I'm also here. My name is Pamela Schoonover. I live in the city here. And I'm concerned about this Liberty Hill. I walked and seen the beautiful camas flowers. And Pittsburgh Road also is adjacent to the retirement living facility there, you know, assisted living. And I know those people aren't gonna be able to handle, I'm sure, noise and levels. And I worry about those people. I'm not involved with those people there. I do know people that live there. And I can't imagine hearing the blasts and stuff like that, you know, assisted living facility there. But it's just, there's so many beautiful things on that property and nobody really has noticed it. And, you know, I haven't lived here very long, but I have noticed that area. And I do know that there's even ruts from the pioneer trails, you know, and everything. And it's just gorgeous up there. Any time of the year, it doesn't matter, winter or with the camas flowers, you know, you'll see the bald eagle fly across, you know. They're just amazing amount of beauty there, and we're so fortunate to have it just right here, right just outside of some of the city limits, which I'm really sad to hear, you know, about this, all this going on. And just, it's really sad, it saddens my heart when I know about this. So I'm hoping that maybe you guys can think of something that we can do to, you know, prohibit the mining, mine that area and to go north instead, you know, so it won't impact as much as the closeness to the city. Thank you.
Nobody on Zoom?
Nobody has responded.
Okay, we're gonna do approve and authorize for signature. One. Initiate right-of-way vacation proceedings for North 11th and 12th Street Bluff property. And 2, Fourth Amendment to David Evans and Associates Agreement for Columbia Boulevard Sidewalk and Safety Improvement.
Will we approve and or authorize for signature items 1 through 2 as read?
Second.
And this has been made and seconded to approve and authorize for signature as read. With President Moore, or
I don't see. That I'm going to rely on him to do it. I
Councilor Sunday.
don't know who I am, but I.
Councilor Gunderson. Aye. Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Appointment to the city boards and commissions, reappoint Jacob Woodruff to the Parks and Rec Commission.
I move that we reappoint Jacob Woodruff to the Parks and Recreation Commission.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve Jacob. Council President Chilton.
I.
Councilor Sundin.
Aye.
Councilor Gunderson. Aye. Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
I'm an aye as well. Consent agenda for acceptance for Liberty, Library, Liberty.
I'm on a roll tonight.
Library Board minutes dated December 2022. Parks and Rec Commission minutes dated December 2022. Planning Commission minutes dated December 2022.
I'm trying to get the new counselor here going. I move that we accept the consent agenda items 4, 5, and 6.
I'll second.
All right. Motion been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 4, 5, and 6. Councilor President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Anderson.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
I'm with aye as well. All right, consent agenda for approval. 7, joint council city and planning commission minutes dated December 2022. 8, council work session and regular session minutes dated December 2022. 9, accounts payable bill list.
I move we can approve consent agenda items 7, 8, and 9 as read.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. We're getting broke in.
Hey.
Motion been made and seconded to approve consent agenda 7, 8, and 9 is read. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Gunderson.
Aye.
Councilor Berkeley.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Okay, work session action items. I think we already went ahead and nod with the pool. I think that was it. Good. Okay, council member reports. Council President Chilton.
I'm not used to going first either. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I have had the opportunity in my new job with assisted living to explore the senior center a little bit. So last week I went on Friday with Avamere, but I got to enjoy, they have a lunch that they do and a live music, which was really good music, by the way. That was a packed house. That was the place to be on a Friday afternoon. Our senior center is, wow, I was like blown away with how active it was. People were out there dancing, there was lots of food, and our executive director over there, Justin, is just doing an amazing
Yeah.
job. Shout out to him. He is really bringing life into that place, and it's just, it's a full house that I did not realize or appreciate how well functioning the senior center was in St. Helens. So I want to give a shout out to them for that. I'm going back on Friday, and this time I'm bringing a whole busload of my residents. Come with me so they can enjoy some music and food too. And wow, the senior center just has a lot going on. They've got billiards, they've got bingo, they've got computers for people to use. Really awesome place. So yeah,
Yeah.
I was really impressed. So yeah, so I wanted to share about that. That's all I got.
All right, Councilor Sunday.
Not a lot to report on. Had a good meeting last week with the Parks Commission. We've got a new member, Lauren. I think it's going to be a great asset to the group. New leadership this year, so Dana's going to be leading the Parks Commission. And then who was chair last year will be the vice chair this year. So very dedicated group that does a lot of good, and I'm looking forward to seeing the things that they're going to do this coming year. I had a chance to go with Buck and take a tour of the parks facilities. It was good and eye-opening just to see some of the equipment that we have and the facilities that are used to maintain the parks. So that I think is going to help me in my work. And next week I look forward to meeting with Chief Greenway and learning a little bit more about the police department and their needs and current situation there. So
Yeah.
So far things are going great, and I'm enjoying getting to know people and learn what everybody does and how things work. So
Good work. Councilor Gunderson.
So I had a chance to attend the planning commission meeting last Tuesday, a long meeting. I was very impressed with the waterfront, the whole amphitheater, all the design. I don't know if you've all seen that, I'm assuming you have, and the way that's gonna roll out and look, it looks great to me. Dance floor, everything, just I can't quite picture it yet being down there because of the area, but once that's all said and done, it was pretty impressive. We also had the CIS attorneys regarding state hospital 31, there was some discussion around that, more to come.
Thanks. Council Berkeley.
Yeah, attended my first library board meeting as a council member, having previously been on the board. So as we all know from the meeting 2 weeks ago, when our director came and presented with the board president that the big project is undertaking the new strategic plan. And if you haven't already been reached out to, you will be contacted just to get your thoughts and ideas on things like that. I was not able to attend, but I understand that on Friday was a successful Chamber of Commerce coffee event. So I think each month merchants, business owners sponsor a coffee, and we were able to, the library was able to make the makerspace as this place for business people to come, and the reviews that Suzanne Bishop reported is there was a lot of interest and excited about the possibilities of some business partnerships. And that'll be especially crucial this coming year, since the funding for our makerspace not director, anyway, for Alan, comes to an end at the end of 2023. And that is something we don't want to lose this momentum. So good things happening, excited to be part of that, and all I have.
All right. So I think it was Senator Weber, did we meet with her between the two meetings here?
Yeah.
Yes. So Councilor Chilton and I and John Walsh and Richard Berry met with her and her staffer, and it was very good lunch just to get to know our new senator. And she's familiar. She's a mayor and also a House rep prior to. So you know, they're actually starting their session now. We're gonna go to City Day here coming up here pretty soon. I hope you guys can attend that. It's on the 25th. And John's got the flyer right here. It's good just to go there and get familiar with hear the legislation updates and listen to both caucuses, kind of get a little spiel, and then lunch, and then you gotta go, and we will have the opportunity. Rachel set up times for us to meet with both of our reps. So that going on. When Councilor Berkeley was talking about the library board, I would recommend that we get a table for the Black Tie Blue Jean event, a sitting table. Maybe two, I'm not sure what staffers want to go to. But in a guest, I don't know how many holds the table. But if you could check on that, John. That is coming back this year. It's always a good event. So, and it goes, proceeds go to scholarships. It's great. It's really a good deal. So they always do it at graduation. So let's see, what else did there was something else. Oh, you talked about the senior center. Yeah, I did actually go there a while ago when I was invited by a guest who's a volunteer up there, and it's amazing the amount of volunteers they have running those stores. And yeah, yes. Actually it was my aunt, Judy Lockett, who asked me to assist her in there, and so I went, and actually yeah, it was a great time. I even threw down a couple songs of karaoke with even got Justin up there too.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. You know, you only live once. It was fun. But it was just it was eye-opening, the amount of volunteers that goes into making that place and the service that they give to our community is well worth it. So let's see, I think that's about all I have to report. Yeah, that's it. So any last other business on here? If not, we'll adjourn.
I don't have any go backs.
All right, well,